Well, it's still raining. It's not been a heavy rain, but it's just been a constant, steady rain. So everything is very, very soggy at the moment. Oh well, never mind. There are other things to do. Yeah, other things to do. This is playing. This isn't work. This is playing. But I would like this to be an interesting thing for maybe for visitors to come and play with. Maybe. I have been ballasting. Ballasting is good. It stops the rails from fidgeting. It actually improves electrical continuity because if the rails don't fidget, you get a good contact at the joins, all that sort of thing, as well as being cosmetically pleasing. What I have noticed, using sand and PVA increases the amount of noise, but hey, that's all part of the fun. But what I was looking at, let's just move the big engine out of the way. I was looking at putting a point in here and running, yeah, and the other day I audited the points that I've got, and I'm sort of bereft of points. I've got 3 broken ones. And I think I said this the other day, I actually don't know where to go to a shop that sells this sort of stuff here. There must be some. I have looked online, they all seem to be 200 kilometres away. That can't be the absolute case, there must be somewhere closer, but you know, in terms of priority, this is, I'm not going to go 100 miles just to buy a point. Some of you can say, why don't you do it online? Because I don't approve of online shopping, okay? I really don't. Online shopping kills high streets. It's why there are no toy shops anymore. Everybody whips out their mobile phone, goes dink, 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 buys whatever. It arrives in a van to your door. Yeah, burning all that diesel to do it, all that sort of thing. No, with me it's a policy thing. If I don't need something, there's absolutely no way I'm going to buy it online. Okay, you got that? So, if you've got broken points and bits of broken track, how about we repair what we've got while we're waiting to find other ones at Brockhont's or wherever? So that's something that I'm going to have a little go at tonight. See if we can't do something with this broken point. It seems to function, but it's missing a piece of rowel, and it's also missing a contact. All things we can fix, I think. The best way to fix old broken rails is using other old broken rails. You remember that stuff about not putting new wine in old wine skins and all that sort of thing? So we've got plenty of old broken bits of track. So if we nip a bit of rowel out of that, we can weld it in. Should I do thermite welding on this sort of stuff? I don't know. Yeah, we can fit that one way and another, and we can sort out some electrical repairs to this. I think that's going to work. Well, that's a start. That actually took several goes, and this is something that I have read about and I found out for myself about. Sometimes solder just doesn't want to take to model railway rails. I don't know why, but it took. What we've used is a piece of old telephone wire. Yeah, and what I've got to do, I'm going to go and drink some tea, but we'll come back and see if we can't get that fitted into these points. Well, progress is slowly being made. What I've done so far is I've cut a length of rail to what I want. I have soldered a telephone wire to it, but the next thing that I need to do is I need to find my two-part epoxy, which I'm not actually quite sure where it is, and I need to glue that rail in place onto the sleepers and let that cure. Now I wonder where my two-part is. Well, that was bizarre. It was actually where it should be, on my glue shelf. How about that? I put it in the right place. That won't happen twice this year, will it? You all know how this stuff works. You squeeze a little bit out of one tube and a little bit out of the other tube, and then you mix it all together, and then you bodge it all in, and then you clamp everything together, and then you leave it to cure. And leaving it to cure overnight is actually a good plan. Oh, good morning. What is it? It's Thursday, isn't it? Thursday, 2nd of May 2024. It's stopped raining, but the forecast says it's going to start again shortly, and we've got a yellow warning for flooding. Not sure quite what a yellow warning means. I suppose that means it's possible, but, you know. Yeah, so I guess I ought to make best use of the lack of rain at the moment to do some stuff out here. Look, peas sprouting. That's pleasing. The garlic forest. I'm just curious how they will pan out. You know, I think I told you that I didn't buy garlic to grow, I bought garlic to eat, and the cloves that I had in the kitchen started to sprout, so I split it up and stuck it in the ground. So I don't know if I'll get 4 nice big fat garlics or not. We'll see, you know. What is pleasing though is looking at how the gooseberries are beginning to swell. That's good. Yeah. But the fact it's not raining, I better get on and do stuff. This is what they're actually for. Mouse hunting. Well, where we left you last night was with this piece of rail glued in with two-part epoxy and curing, and it's cured. What I've done is some of the ugliest soldering I've ever done. That was actually a bit of a so-and-so. The flux and the solder just didn't seem to want to take, but we got there in the end. It reminded me of a story from many, many years ago. Pal of mine worked on the engineering department of London Underground, and they were putting in a tunnel a bridge. It was quite a complex engineering operation that required cranes and lifting gear and tunnelling equipment and all. It was a very complex piece of business. They got everything in place, and the guy turned up with a box of nuts and bolts to put it all together, and he arrived with metric. So instead of having, I can't remember the dimensions, but for example, instead of having inch bolts, he had centimetre bolts. Yeah, delayed the job for a whole day. But this is a slow sort of process of getting these rowels all to line up nicely. We'll get there eventually. Well, the proof of the pudding is, as they say, how about we go the other way? That's it, like that. The proof of the pudding is in the eating, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pleased with that. So that's that bit. The next bit, of course, is what goes here. But we've gone from a broken, horrible point to a working one. Fair amount of modification, but, you know, it does the job.